Good afternoon. It's November the 29th, 2024. And again, I'd like to offer you something that's absolutely free, but nobody wants, and that's advice. And that's a fact. So I don't know what you think you can do or what you know, but what I know is that you, whether you believe it or not, whether you were there, present, or part of the vote, you gave the national office a mandate. You framed, you make a big frame, and inside that frame is everything you wanted, and they can't go outside of that without coming back to you if it's something that's not similar or the same but more money. They're not going to come back to you and say you want more money. So they have a big job to do. Not only do they have a duty as a national officer, and it's listed in the Constitution, and everybody should start reading that stuff, because not like other unions where people could go in looking for something gold and come back with silver. That's not what their job is. Their job is to negotiate on your behalf for the best contract, considering the picket lines, the attitudes on the work floor, and the people that just don't get it, that just keep running and showing the boss all the time how to cut jobs. And they'll even go sit on their desk and tell them, if you didn't do that, you can get rid of another guy in here. They don't get it. And here's the other thing. This is another thing. This will be advice. Look after everybody equally. Maybe you can't during the vote or anything else, but whatever you ask for, treat the people that are around you. They are fellow members. They pay the same amount. They have the same rights as you do. In the Constitution, in the collective agreement, they have a whole list of rights, and they're protected by shop stewards and national officers and everything to protect their rights. So they got that, right? But if you neglect and say, who the hell cares what they're doing to the temps, or who the hell cares what they're doing to the rural route, or I guess they call them suburban, or mobile rural routers, or whatever they call them now. It's been a while. But if you neglect them, then you get compared to, well, why next negotiation? It's why are we paying them X amount of dollars and you're getting twice as much? So why don't we just get rid of you? After a while, with all these rules that are going on, the group below you that keeps taking a shit kicking is the group, in fact, the group that will disappear first, because they don't have any protection. So once the people below you go, what's left? There's a handful of people. It's like a giant pyramid with a point down, and everything's on the top, and you're taking it. The burden is on your back. You're at the bottom of the pyramid. So if you look at that and you say, well, I'm working hard all the time. Yeah, because people around you have been showing the boss where to cut every minute and second out of your job. Private vehicles, well, what the hell? You made bus drivers, taxi drivers, all kinds of people unemployed. That's what you did. You said, "Oh, that would be good because I can use my car." Well, you can only use your car to the first stop. Come on, wise up. You can't use your car to drive around and pretend that you're a bus driver with parcels and everything else in your car. You'll be fired. I can tell you that. So relax, everybody. You're in the middle of negotiations. I'm going to tell you, before I retired, we didn't get, I think it was 2011 was the first time that we got paid strike pay. And I didn't care because I saved up for it. I saved up. And then when the strike doesn't happen, we've settled, then I've got some extra fun money to enjoy with my family. Either take them somewhere or we'll go on a road trip. But instead, you can't just keep up with your Starbucks coffee and your Uber deliveries Uber Eats to your house and 2 cars and 2 gas tanks and 2 car insurances. You got to eventually, it doesn't matter where you work, all that kind of pressure on you is going to destroy you. And I guess I might as well go into it too. The fact is, when they say, "Oh, I can't afford the children is so expensive." Well, you know what? People are buying their kids a laptop, $1,000, phone, $1,000. Maybe you don't think so, but it's in the payments. iPads, $150 shoes. Are you kidding me? That's what's going on. That's why people say, I can't afford to live. Look what I got to pay to send my kid to school. A kid does not need a laptop at school unless they get to university. A kid does not need a phone at school. Here's your favorite. Listen to this. Mom, I need a phone because if you want to get a hold of me and I'm really sick, how do you get a hold of me? The same way they've been getting hold of you for 100 years. They contact the school. They used to send a horse to the school, but now they use the phone and say, hey, could you get my kid down to the office? I need to talk to him. It's really urgent. You don't need a phone for school. That's a bunch of BS, that is. So the kids are manipulating you into things that you don't really need for school, and you're spending it. You want to get your kid a used laptop and he doesn't like it, then put it in the closet and leave it. Because they'll keep carrying on until they get a new one. And then you're going to go around going, oh, you know how much it costs for a laptop? No, I don't know. I've never bought one before in my whole life. So look after yourself financially. First of all, look after your financial. Prepare for a strike. When they tell you the strike's coming, prepare for it. They don't mean to go out in the parking lot and do calisthenics and everything else. They're talking about preparing your lifestyle, your savings, so that when this thing is out there, you've got money to cover you. I had no money coming in from the union with a strike pay. And you think about it, I had zero, and I couldn't have cared less because I had put money aside for it, right? I didn't say, oh, well, we're going to settle because, either we take what they give us or no, you don't take what they give you. That's why you're in the mess you're in today. So these people work hard for you. But all I see on this Facebook site is just over and over again. What do these national officers know? They know what you told them to know. You told them, this is what we want. Here's the big frame on the picture. I'm inside that picture. The collective agreement, the Constitution, they're all framed in what their duties are, and with a collective agreement, what your job is. That's why you say, well, that's not my job, because it's outside of the frame. So to sit back and constantly shit kick national officers and volunteer shop stewards and volunteer presidents and people pouring their heart out for you, what you see on that site is a bunch of nasty stuff. I don't like it. I think that's wrong. And, as a person that was a rep for a long time, well, it's water off a duck's back, right? Somebody calls you name, big deal. The reward is when they need you to help them, and then they kind of look a little awkward, but you still help them like anybody else. It's just like not good for them. So it's not right to do that. The employer was always listening on the work floor in between contracts, and they would, oh, I know, what do we? Let's get rid of the national officers. They're a bunch of losers. You're in a different kind of union. That's what you have to understand. You're in a different kind of union. Originally, before this paid strike pay, Cup W didn't pay strike pay, and what we did was we went on a strike for nothing, for like no money, right? We were, I don't know how it was after I retired in 2014, but I can tell you we were known as one of the toughest unions in the country. And Canada Post said, you know what we do with them? Old Chinese proverb, to tame a wild horse, you must first break its spirit. And that's what they're doing to you. They're breaking your spirit. And once they got you down, which they got you right now, oh yeah, screw that union you got. You come with us as a boss, we'll look after you with a contract, and just vote yes for everything. And then you keep going further in the hole. As I said before, some people, they know that their job, what they're doing on their job, is leading to cuts. Not cutting your job, you think. No, because you got seniority, so the other person who's taken all their credits and their points of call and kept an eye on these rope measurement things, they have a nice job. So what you do when you're bidding, you take that job and you give someone else your piece of garbage that you created. And then it just keeps going on until they're all a piece of garbage. So when you left your last place of employment, you said, okay, I want a better job, and I want to work my way into a better job, because the job I'm in is crap. It's got no benefits. It's got nothing. It's zero. Well, people that since around, I think it was around starting 2008 to 2011, somewhere in there, Canada Post just started bringing people in and pumping that attitude into their head that the union's corrupt and you're all getting sold down the river. So now you vote and you're listening to the boss. You're not listening to your union, and you're making the job you're in now the job you left. So why did you leave the other job? Because look at it, look around you. You gave up sick time, 100% WCB. I couldn't believe it. Sick time. You gave up the sick time for this. You ever see the game where they put the pea under the walnut and they move it around? You got to guess where it is. That's pretty much your sick time. Oh yeah, don't worry, you guys, all you casuals and anybody that's accumulates sick time, whoever it is, anybody, you just got to ask for a day off and I'll give it to you. Oh, can I have Friday? No, you can't have Friday. How about day before Christmas? No. How about Monday? Oh, Monday's always busy. How about Tuesday? Well, I'll have to look at my books. BS again. It's nonsense. You've been fooled. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So you should be right in it saying, you know what? Maybe I should start listening to my union because it was the membership that gave them the direction, right? Like we gave them this direction of, this is what we want per hour. They said, well, why are we asking for that? You wanted a raise and you suggested the amount, but in between that, there may have been an incident going on in the way of a raise in the what do you call it, minimum wage or something else. So then you look and say, well, the gap is not that much different. Well, it wasn't when you went to the convention to throw the negotiations at the union. So yeah, getting mad, yelling at your union, insulting your union reps, sucking up to the boss, running around, those guys that run out there got their car and they're doing this and they're doing that just to cut corners so they can go home at 11. You think the boss doesn't know when you go home. The PDF shuts off. There's a tracking device in that, a GPS, that they can just plug it in and tell exactly where you went and how you got there. I mean, any time that you were, let's say you got hit by a car and you say, oh no, I do the work pattern. Oh no, you don't. It's on the GPS. They can use it as to back up their evidence, but they can't just take the PDF and say, okay, I'm going to have a talk with you. It has to be an incident first, and then they can use that as a piece of evidence. So it's not good what's going on, but you got to hang tight. Just hang in there, and first and foremost, think about your lifestyle, what you're spending money on, because you know what, I'm probably living better now than I was when I was working, because I had wife, 2 kids, a mortgage, and I pretty much watched my money. But we still went on a holiday, we still went on road trips, and we ate pretty good. We just didn't eat pretty good every night. There's things we did when the kids say, well, I want to go to the trip to France with everybody. It's only $1,200, and then oh yeah, sure, here's $1,200. No, your kids have to experience hardship. They have to experience it, whether it's at school where they fail, whatever it is. They have to experience, because it makes them better. You can't say that things that went on in your life that were pretty tough didn't change you or make you a better person, because they do. You figure out things on your own instead of your parents going, oh, don't worry, I'll go in and talk to the school and smooth it over. No, it's not the way it works. So you're raising children that are going to have problems later on when you're not around to help them. And one of them is, you've got to teach them, have a family meeting. We call them FDAs, family damage assessment. So when you go into this little group around the table, and you say that, okay, I'm not going to be, we may win our strike, we may get what we want, we may not even be on strike. But if we are, we have to put money aside. So that means these school trips, unless they're free, you're not going on them. This one, throw the cards on the table. They're your kids, it's your life, but instead everybody just carried on like, oh, we're going to be on strike and we got strike pay, and then you get into the second week and everybody's like, whoa, what's going on here? I'm going to go broke. Well, you're going broke because you skip the dishes and Starbucks $6 coffees. I mean, you got to get your act together. And this will be your life. If you're working at Canada Post, this will be your life. Every time, and I was only around since 1981, so every time there was a strike coming up, management were total assholes. When we were in negotiations, management were total assholes. And then you get back and they're mean spirited, and then they realize they made a mistake by insulting everybody, and then they start sucking up to you with pizza and cookies and shit. You can't buy me with a piece of pizza. Okay, I can go buy one myself for a slice for $3. So that's the thing. This isn't new. What's happening to you happened to me many times. Anyone that's an old time member, ask them how many times they've been on strike, and especially if the letter carriers union, they got paid, but they had a wacky formula that they probably there was no reason to pay them. But for the Cup W, I went on strike for me, not because I was going to get paid for it. So if you think that you're going to not show up in the picket line, go to latch onto another job, or you're doing a gig job, and then you're going to stand there and accept all the things that I lost pay for, I won't be very happy. So it's kind of all in the nutshell. Is this is your life? That was my life until I retired in 2014. Strikes, for me, lots of suspensions, one big firing, loss of my pension. It was a whole bunch of stuff, but I did it for you guys. I didn't do it for me. I already had a job. So all the time I lost was unpensionable. And so I lost that during that strike. So, and they say, well, then I went out on strike for you, because you should have this, everybody, the new people that come in. The attitude now is, screw the new people coming in, I'm okay, let them worry about it. Well, here we are. This is where you are. You're still here, the job's getting worse, and their job is getting even worse than yours. So that's where it gets you. You got to stop. You got to stop and think about all that stuff. So I'm not shaming anybody or anything else, but just you got to get into the mindset that this is the way it was for everybody. If they've been there 35 years, it's been 35 years of it. And it used to be worse. You think it's worse now? It's not worse. We had the government. And every time there was a talk of a postal strike, here's the government, depending on who was in power, they wanted to kick the postal workers around. They all did. Because, oh, look at them, they go out there and they tell them, oh, you're all going to fire the whole bunch of yous and talk tough and all this sort of stuff. We had to put up with that. And then that was a political thing, right? Well, now it's a Crown Corporation. There's a bunch of greedy stuffed shirts in Ottawa in that big glass palace over on wherever the hell it is, Hunt Club Road or something. It's a big glass palace, and there's all kinds of employees there that make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and then belly up to the hog trough for some slop, which is a big sloppy tray full of cash, money. Oh, look at me. And then they go home and they throw it on the bed and roll naked in it. They have a great time while you're out there slugging it. They didn't make money for Canada Post. You did. What did they do? They didn't do anything. There's some that do, I have to tell you that. There's maybe a financial officer and CEOs, I don't know. But financial officers, there's groups of people that you do need, and you had them when they were government, because you had to have a structure to look after spending or it just gets out of hand, right? But that's not what these people are doing. These people are just, oh man, there's their attitude. If it wasn't for all you people, we could make more money. That's what they're thinking. They're thinking more money for them, so they get rid of more people they get rid of. The money keeps floating up. It doesn't trickle down, it goes up. So anyhow, I don't want to depress you with that kind of stuff, but this is your life. If you don't like it, it's almost time to bail, because it's not going to get better. And sometimes the strikes are closer together. I don't know. I don't think a lot of people have been in a strike. Some of the newer people, because they settled. They settled for crap because everybody said, "Oh, we better settle for that, or we're going to be on strike, and the sky's going to fall." So this is the reality right here. What you're facing right now is the reality, and those of us that have been around face this for me 35 years of strikes, changes in management, wacky plans, money losing goals. I mean, it was just stupid stuff from Canada Post. So it hasn't changed. It's just become different. Now it's, they have a different structure, but it's still the same thing. It's still people that got these wacky ideas that don't work. There's people that turned a blind eye when we were in the whole thing about email. They pretended like, who cares? We got the monopoly. Well, not on email. So they tried wacky ideas about starting up a club, or if you join the Canada Post Club, there's services you can have. Plus, we'll do your email for you. Well, why do you want Canada Post reading your email? Because it's all your email, not just the one going to them. So they had ideas that didn't work, and they don't care because it's not off their back. And if it costs someone a job or they have to get rid of somebody, then they just get rid of one of you, and everybody's pay goes up. So just relax, spend good time with your family. Maybe you have to talk with them and tell them where we're at with this, but include your family in your whole strike thing. Your whole financial, your whole even if your family comes out on the picket line. There's a lot of people whose families come out and join them on the picket line. There's a lot of businesses that join you on the picket line. They don't wear a sign because they're not on strike, but they're out there supporting you. So change, it's not mandatory, but if you don't change your attitude towards the strike and towards your union, your life is going to be a living hell for a long time. And at that point, like now, if you don't plan on changing, you might as well pack it in for yourself. Let someone else have the job, because you were creating a job that was the crap job that you left. And we said, oh, I had a great job. Well, then you had a great job. Why did you come to Canada Post? Because you want the pension, you want all this stuff. Well, the pension is pretty much strange now. I don't even know what it is anymore. I'm on a defined pension, but the other one is like a pay-as-you-go or something. Kind of like a carnival game. But anyhow, have a wonderful day, and I will see you again. And the other thing is, I joined the picket line down in Ladysmith, British Columbia, which is in the middle of Vancouver Island. And there was a lot of people on that picket. It's a little tiny station. I don't know how many. I didn't even ask how many people are there. I've been going to that station for 4 or 5 years. Wonderful people. The public loves them. They honk their horns at them and wave, and even public come with donuts and hamburgers and pizza. There is a lot of from what I was told, there's like total participation, and it's not for the money. It's because they've had it. So take that as some advice. If you're in a big group that's powerful, and you're in a local with a couple of thousand members, or maybe even 10,000 members in a region, the appearance of you all on the picket line is scary. And you don't have to picket for 4 hours. You can picket for 8 hours. We used to picket for 12 to 24 hours. We used to stay overnight, sit in a lawn chair, take turns passing out. But they would try and sneak mail in the middle of the night in transport trucks, and we got them. So this is all part of the strategy. And if you had stayed close to your union, you'd probably know why everything is going on the way it is now. So anyhow, have a wonderful day, and take care, and solidarity to all. Thank you very much.